Even Elon Musk has said the need for electricity. Sam Altman said, everybody said, we don't have enough electricity to run the kind of machinery that we need to run to do this. I don't take that as necessarily a fossil fuel bullish scenario, because I think that if you see what is happening in Europe and elsewhere, I think there is a massive push to run the energy from different sources, because it's geopolitically difficult with oil. People don't like the volatility of the oil market. In Europe, we're seeing obviously the massive drive towards solar and wind and geothermal. In the US, both Amazon and Microsoft are already moving towards nuclear, which David's talked about a lot. So yeah, I mean, David spends a lot of his time thinking and talking about what it means for energy. I think, generally speaking, there's a much bigger revolution that's going to be happening outside of just the fossil fuel revolution.
Wait a minute, everyone. Welcome to Bitcoinzilla, your platform for daily cryptocurrency analysis and news. Our mission is to keep it simple. Bitcoinzilla offers engaging information that is easy to understand. Our analysts keep their eyes on the latest news to provide valuable insights via email. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Join our community of 10,000 subscribers and experience the new edge with Bitcoinzilla. Subscribe now. In today's video, Raoul Pal discusses everything happening in the AI space, the latest technological breakthroughs, the transformative impact of AI on financial markets, and investment strategies for navigating this era of exponential advancement. So without wasting any time, let's dive into the video.
I still have a daily charts up. I look at stuff all the time. I know where everything is, what's overbought, oversold. I just don't need to hedge the risk. I'll accept the volatility, but other people do. But people should bear in mind is more people are trading single stock options on tech names than the S&P 500. Mm-hmm. Right? It is the single most active market in the world, is the single stock option market on tech names in the United States. So this is not like trading Eurodollar options or SOFR options or whatever it is. This is the biggest market in the world, and people need to understand how to use it, because it can really help you. It's not just for wild speculation. It's the stuff that Imran spends a long time thinking about, is how do you maximize stuff, or as you're talking about, Maggie, how do I just get more comfortable with the risk that I've got because I don't really like drawdowns or whatever it may be. If we think that liquidity is the biggest driver of risk assets, and particularly growth assets, crypto and tech are growth assets. If you remember, they led the cycle because they're driven by liquidity and not the business cycle itself, which is what drives stuff like the Russell 2000 or oil companies or gold miners. They're all driven by the business cycle. And we see that right now, the ISM is struggling to turn higher, and then we'll have an upcycle, and those stocks, those cyclical stocks, will do well. But technology way leads that by over a year. And if it's driven by liquidity, we need to understand what's happening with liquidity. And Mike Howell was with you last week, I think. Mike's always excellent on this. We produce a lot of work at Global Macro Investor and Real Vision Pro Macro on this. And it's liquidity in the US at its simplest level is driven by, it's called Fed net liquidity. It's driven by the balance sheet. Is it rising or falling? Well, right now they're doing QT, so they're taking liquidity out of the system, but that's offset with the reverse repo. They've been draining that. That money goes into the market, into the short end of the bond market. That's been adding liquidity, and that more than offset the Fed. Then there's Janet Yellen and her checkbook, the Treasury General account. That's her current account. And we had this liquidity withdrawal from the system based on the fact that there was a reasonably big tax season because the economy grew reasonably well last year. Those taxes come out of money market funds and go into Janet's checking accounts. So they're now not able to be used because Janet's not spending it yet. So that money comes out of the system. That's a liquidity withdrawal. Okay, so that's what was driving tech down and crypto down.
Jenny Johnson, the CEO and president of Franklin Templeton, a financial firm with $1.6 trillion in assets under management, recently reiterated her pro-blockchain stance during an interview with Bloomberg anchor David Westland during the 27th Annual Milken Institute Global Conference in California. Among the hot topics discussed by the two, Johnson had plenty to say on the subjects of tokenization and generative artificial intelligence. When asked how Franklin Templeton benefited from tokenization, Johnson was quick to reply. First of all, I am a huge fan of blockchain and the technology. She described a situation where the company ran a side-by-side experiment to process account records using both traditional methods and blockchain for a period of 6 to 8 months. As Johnson put it, the results were quite positive. We were astonished by how much less costly it was to run it on blockchain. Johnson added, "It's a very efficient technology, and we think it's going to open up a lot of new investment opportunities. And honestly, eventually, I think ETF and mutual funds are all going to be on blockchain." She attributed this prediction to the huge costs associated with verifying data between disparate systems, a problem which blockchain was intentionally designed to solve. Johnson further pointed out that once data is reconciled in-house, financial institutions and stakeholders still need to verify data between external parties. In the case of blockchain, she stated, there's only one source of truth. The savings, both monetary and temporal, can lead to more diversified investment opportunities, according to Johnson. She cited the use case of pop superstar Rihanna, who released a series of 300 NFTs that afforded their owners a tiny percentage of royalties for one of the artist's songs via smart contract. The CEO noted that Franklin Templeton had recently partnered with Microsoft to build an AI-powered sales assistant, later adding that there were investment opportunities in the space. She also lauded the potential for AI-powered translation services to bridge language barriers in finance.
Every time I listen to Sam Altman, his guarded manner of speak suggests to me their advancements internally within OpenAI are much further than people understand. It is my personal opinion that they are building AI software products with AI, which is why 500 people can be so fast across so many verticals and disrupt everybody every 3 months. We're going to have the OpenAI developer conference in this month sometime. My guess is and this is where David and I have been discussing this, my guess is going to be another step change. And every time, it was really interesting. I can't remember who was interviewing him, Lex Fridman, somebody said, oh, that was a shock when Sora came out. He said, damn, we should have throttled back a little bit because we don't want to shock people too fast. Which makes me think, and I hear this language from a lot, is super guarded. And what he's trying to play is a game of beating everybody, but not moving so fast that the regulators shut him down out of fear.
Exactly.
And then he's saying, you need to regulate us, but he's moving so far ahead. It's a very clever game he's playing, as are others. Anthropic are doing the same. They're like, you've got to protect everybody from the AI, but we're great.
Updating his perspective of BTC price behavior following last month's block subsidy halving, meanwhile, popular trader and analyst Rect Capital called time on current weakness. BTC/USD has tended to drop in the weeks following a halving event, and this danger zone is now coming to an end. At the end of April, Rect Capital predicted a major bout of downside for Bitcoin within a 2-week period, something which ultimately came true in the form of a trip to 2-month lows $56,500. Bitcoin indeed downside wicked below the reaccumulation range low, just like in 2016. Thus, price-wise, the post-halving danger zone purple has been satisfied, he stated on the day. Time-wise, however, the danger zone officially ends in 2 days. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Zella. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.